Welcome back to Middlefield Custom Sawmill. Today I got some cleanup to do, a lot of cleanup, and then a little bit of sawing. So, see these here? These need to be edged. I'm going to take those, put them on this rack over here on the stack, finish that off, strap it. I got to strap that log. That goes in the kiln. This log, I got to find a home for it. And then that log over there, this giant oak with, I don't know if the camera's going to show it, but there's some green in there. This is one of those, this is part of this big log with the wire, with the copper wire, which is where all the green came from. Well, that's what this is, and this is going to be turned into blocking because I'm almost out of blocking. So that log had a big spiral crack, not good for much else, so blocking it is. Maple trees have been shedding these little red buds all over everything. These can go in the bucket. Those are going to get used on a rack like that. That's not heavy at all. Okay, one side. Okay. Look at the curve on that thing. Come here. You don't realize how big these boards are. At least I didn't. And heavy. I'm not giving up. Ha. All right, so I just got to strap this now and clean up this mess. I won't bore you with that. Okay, we're back. It's the next day. It's much nicer out here today, a lot warmer. Okay, just a shirt. But I threw the log up here on the mill. This is a big red oak, and this is the one with the spiral crack. There's the crack there, but when I get up to the other end of the log, the crack goes this way. I'll show you real quick. You can take a look at the log as I go. It is a really nice red oak. This was a big tree from down by Mineral Lake here in Middlefield. See there? The crack goes across the bottom. So this side here. So what I'm thinking is this crack turns and goes through this part of the wood, which means this part of the wood should be solid all the way up. So we're going to try and get some boards out of this, and then maybe some blocking from this side. Because blocking doesn't need to be full length, it can be, 4-foot pieces. Oak is really heavy. Oh, that made it easy. All right, here's the wood. See, there's the crack coming up here and going out that way. So I don't know, maybe this will be the clear side over here instead of over there. We'll see. But it's nice looking wood. There is some pretty oak boards in there, that's for sure. Big knot with some holes around it. And there's the end. Red oak's really good, like if you want to make trim for around a window, molding, stuff like that. It's really good for that, especially if you're cutting, inch thick and 4 inches wide. Okay, let's, I'm going to take 2 cuts, about 1 1/8 inches thick, so not real thick, but okay, I'm going to dump the scraps that I took off the top and then take these off and put them on a couple of stickers on the forks so they don't turn black, and we can take a look at what we got. This is 12.5 feet. It is 16 inches wide at this end, and at the bottom of the log it's over 2 feet wide. So 16 by 1 by 12 foot. So after looking at these, I'm not going to sticker them now. I'm going to just stack them because they got to come back up on here and be edged. So I'm not even going to flip them over. I'm just going to stack them. Okay, so you can check out how this is developing. There's the crack, and it's running across that way. So I'm guessing it goes from like this, and it turns this way over to the bottom. So I don't know where I'm going to get any good wood. We'll see. I mean, I can get some boards out of that. Those are nice over there. But yeah, you know, I could cut this off here and have a board up this side real nice. I don't know. Let's go and look. Here's the rest of the crack. There's that black. That's where the crack is. Pretty wood though. And then when we get up here, there's some ant damage there. And then the knot, and then the end. 19. Somebody figure out 1 inch thick, 19 inches wide, 12 feet long red oak. How much does that weigh? All right, you know what? We're down just below 8 inches. I'm just gonna cut it. I'm gonna cut as deep, 1 inch boards, as deep as I can go before I hit that angled piece on there. It's like I said, this is really wide stuff. I mean, that's 24 inches and it's like 23. But look at how flat that cut. And going this way, there's no daylight. I mean, I can go all the way down this log. There is no daylight anywhere. That's a carbide blade on there. This. I get these from Dan over at Two Guys Timber Framing channel. He gets me these blades. These are so nice. This is 050 thick, 1.25 inch wide carbide. I find the 050s perfect for this saw. And they cut flat. They cut flat. Just so you know, this is log 19 for this blade. I've cut a lot of wood with that blade. All right, let's see if we can cut down all the way down through this. 4/4 boards. Man, they're heavy. 4/4 is so heavy in oak. But yeah, we're just gonna cut. about down to the crack. So I'm going to start pulling pieces off and we'll see how bad the crack is. Jay knows why I'm pulling the bark off it. Oh yeah. Look at how cracked that is, wow. You can see how that's cracked. That's okay. One board, two boards. Okay, so there you can see the crack. It runs all the way halfway up the log, 6 foot. But like I was saying, there's a good board there, and there's 2 good boards here, and this, I mean, that's really pretty there. That's just a really pretty knot, but then this is all quarter sawn. You can see the ray fleck. And it's only going to get better as I cut down further. So I was going to cut this into blocking, and now I'm thinking, nuh-uh, that's some pretty wood. That'd make a nice board. I could get an 8-foot board out of that. So yeah, and that side's got some nastiness. So a terribly cracked log is still giving me some really nice wood. I tried to do 2 cuts without emptying the sawdust, and now I got a whole bunch of sawdust on the ground. I don't know if you can see it, but there's green from the copper that's in the top of this tree. I think as I pull some of these boards off, it should get a little greener. We may be able to see it really well, I don't know. But it's cut. They're all 1 inch thick. Oh, there's the green. When this dries, it's going to be bright green right up the middle. I think you can see the green there. So wherever there's black, it turns green, because at the top of this log, that piece that's sitting over there, that big log, there's a piece of copper wire going into it. It's been there for, I don't know, 100 years. This log came from downtown Middlefield, Ohio. So Middlefield's a pretty old town. This was there for a long time. I can't count the rings, but you can see how tight. I mean, there's a lot of them. All right, let's try and stand these 2 up. Oh, wow. Yeah, I'm gonna put some more water on here. Quarter sawn, check that out. And this got really pretty. And there's more of the ray fleck all the way up this thing. It's got some dark staining, but I think I can get a 6-inch by 8-foot long board out of that. And then this side, look at that. That's gorgeous ray fleck. I can easily get a 12-foot long, 8-inch wide board out of that side. And then up here, There's that green I was telling you about. That's really green. I may leave that. That's kind of cool. And then this end, that's no good. This side's got some ray fleck. I could maybe get a 4-inch board there, and then there's the rest of the 8-inch board going up that side. Look at that. That goes all the way out to the edge. That is gorgeous stuff. Wow. So, a lot of rot, but a lot of good wood still. Alright, what am I doing here? I'm going to stand these up and try and edge them. So here's the problem. There's no way I can cut that with the sawmill, but I can come up here. There's the crack. I could just cut through that with a chainsaw, drop it over, and then the bottom piece is solid enough I can cut it with the sawmill. Because see, this is too high. It would hit. That's about a 7-foot by 9-inch wide oak board. This crack, it ruins this whole end. But up to here it's good. So I'm going to dry it 12 foot long. That's a pretty solid 6-inch board out of that end. Oh, I guess it's not a 6-inch board. This is a live edge. I'm going to leave it live edge. I like it. You know what I hate about working on this stuff? Yeah. All right, let's cut the ick off first. Why are you giving me a hard time here? Uh-oh, it's starting to rain. We got a good solid 7-inch board that time. These two split ones I'm just going to set aside for now. And it's starting to thunder, which means... Wow! Oh, here comes the rain. Well, we've been called on account of rain, so yeah. I don't work in thunderstorms. Oh, you belong up here. Oops, that's a tough plastic ball. I didn't do that last time. Always raise the head of your mill. If it's an LT15 wide, in here are air shocks. They put a pressure upward of 300 pounds. You want this all the way up so they're extended, so you're not under maximum pressure. Yeah, can you hear the rain? It's starting again, and thunder and lightning. So that's it for today. Hope you enjoyed the video. Come back again. Ha, didn't forget you this time. Oh, come on. It's dark in here.